Hello, my name is Tina Ducharme. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I was inspired to do this YouTube channel to share with you the soul contract and how it creates your reality. I am an empathic counselor, a healer, and a creative channeler. I plan to show you how the soul contract worked for others, such as celebrities who have crossed over, and give you a glimpse of what the soul contract means and had meant to them and their journey here in their incarnation. So, what is a soul contract? A soul contract is derived from your birth name. The birth name is created and carries with it vibrations. So let's go back to prior to incarnation, when the soul is gathering with ascended masters and other beings. We call it the karmic board or the council of light. They gather together to determine the best set of optimal life possibilities for the soul so that they have the best opportunity for growth in their next incarnation. It's kind of their next step up in the growth process. So they get together, they determine these optimal life possibilities prior to incarnation. And, and then the birth name is then telepathed to the parent or the guardian. Then, when the soul is embodied, that birth name is vibrationally sends off to the universe the vibrations it carries, which draws to the soul and the new baby the experiences that it wants to have. So, how did this all come about? Well, back in 1980, Frank Elper from the Arizona Metaphysical Society. He channeled the soul of Moses, and he was given this method of numerology through that channeling. It was derived from ancient Hebrew. And in the ancient Hebrew language, which is considered a sacred language and from which all reality emanates. The wonderful thing about this Hebrew language is that letters correlate to numbers. And it is really the numbers that carry the vibrations so that we can determine the vibrational aspect is through the numbers. And so we take the birth name and translate it through the Hebrew language, and then we get the numbers. So I learned this system through Nicholas David Nagan, and he had learned it from Frank Elper directly. And he was my teacher and mentored me. And I have worked over the past several years looking at contracts and working with people to bring this knowledge forth. And I'm hoping to do that through this channel as well, and get people interested so that they understand the value of the soul contract and what it can do for them. So Nicholas had written a book as well. It's called Your Soul Contract Decoded, and I will put that in the link below. So if you wanted to get your own copy, and gives you a lot of the details of that, how it all works, the diagramming of the soul contract. So I plan to show you as well how that all works. So let's just get to, let me share my screen. I picked a celebrity to share with you. This particular celebrity, I'm sure you probably already know by the picture, is David Bowie. So in the Hebrew language, obviously this is the Star of David, which is also Hebrew. So I picked a famous David to show you how this all works. And because it's through the birth name, David Robert Jones is David Bowie's birth name. And the birth name is really the vibrations that you carry throughout your life, even though he changed his name to David Bowie, which does add another layer to the complexity of the vibrations, you still have these numbers, which is derived from his birth name, which is on his birth certificate, is really the foundation of the experiences that he chose. And in Hebrew, we're really lucky because in Hebrew, it correlates directly with English names. So there isn't, it's very easy to put in his name and get the corresponding numbers. Now, there is only 22 letters in the Hebrew alphabet. So there are some combination numbers or letters that will only have one number associated with it. David did not have any of those. And if you wanted to do your own chart, there is a free website also where you can put in your birth name and do your, and it will print out your own diagram and take in all those variables into consideration for you. I will put a link to that down below as well for you guys. So here is his name and all the letters, and you can see that each letter corresponds with a number. Here, I just want to highlight my cursor for you guys, so it's a little easier to see. And so each of his letters corresponded to an actual number. And so the Star of David, let's talk about that for a moment, it consists of two triangles. So you have this triangle that points upwards, which is the spiritual triangle. And you have another interlocking triangle that goes and points to the base, or to the earth plane, I like to call it. And this is the physical triangle. And so you have these two aspects here, your physical side and your spiritual side. And within each of these aspects, you have these three elements. You have your karma, your talents, and your goals. Now, please don't everybody get scared by the word karma. Karma is not a punishment. It isn't something to be afraid of. This is your biggest opportunity for your growth while you are here in your incarnation. And it is going to bring to you challenges, but that is all set up by design. And as soon as you start to overcome some of those opportunities as they come to you, even when you're a little child, you will start to open up your talents, which is your next aspect. And the talents hold the key to really developing your goals, really attaining these goals that you set for yourself. And these goals could be, dreams that you have. They can be very unconscious, but you do have a physical goal and a spiritual goal. And like I said, these are the things that get you out of bed in the morning, and the talents are really there. These are your gifts of, service or whatever they may be, real gifts to help you achieve those goals. And so you'll see we have the numbers here. And so to show you how we come up with these numbers, we take each of the letters that corresponded with one of David, in his name is his letter, and we take and we place it on this Star of David on one of these 6 aspects. So we start with the first number, and then we put the second number on the next, and the third, and the fourth, and the fifth, and we keep going around the star until we use up all of the numbers. Once we have done that, we then add up the numbers that we put on each of the points of the star. And if it is under 22, because there's only 22 numbers in the Hebrew alphabet, and so we only have 22 numbers. So if it adds up and the number is under 22, we take that total and we add those numbers again to get the second aspect. And this is a blending of vibrations. So in this aspect of physical karma, David chose the two numbers to blend together. Now, if you have a total that is more than the 22, that adds up to more than 22, like this specific one that adds to 45, we take that 45 and we add those two numbers separately, the 4 and the 5 together, and we get the 9. And so then we add 0 to that 9 to get another 9. And what this means is that David chose just one number vibration to experience in this aspect. He wanted a set number. He didn't want to blend any blended energies. He wanted to get this exact number in this aspect. And so you can see that again, you know, we have one under 22 here, which is a 13 added together is 4. But then we have the 30 here, which 3 plus 0 is 3. And we add a 0 again, which is 3. So he only wanted to experience the 3 in this aspect. When we're done with all of this, adding up of the 6 aspects, we add them, we put them in the chart like this, and then we add them together to come up with these totals, which get added again to come up with this final soul destiny of 11-2. And the soul destiny is that blended energy of all of the other aspects and gives him his inner purpose, his really what he came here to accomplish and resolve during this particular incarnation. Now, as you can see, David was born a Capricorn here. One of the nice things that I love about the soul contract is that it also brings in the astrological signs as well. 16 is associated with that is the Capricorn energy. And so I wasn't surprised to see that he had 2 16s here in his chart. Also, we have organs are associated with certain numbers. We have directions are associated with certain numbers and symbols, as you can see here. These symbols are very powerful. They, you know, if you're looking to open up your talents, you can draw your talent symbols. And they also have special meanings as well. So there's a lot to the charts, a lot of blending of energies and symbols and some astrological elements, but it gives you a full picture of the experiences that David was attracting to himself. And I'm very excited. He's going to be the first one that I do. I'm really grateful that he came to me to have this channel. He wasn't somebody that I didn't follow. I didn't have a huge experience with him. Just started to feel his energy and he started to come in, and I was already getting some push from my guides to start to lay out the soul contracts so that people could become aware of them, become conscious that they exist. And just like an astrological chart, it's another tool to help you in your growth here, you know, to become conscious of what you're drawing to you, and how to overcome it, and to how to release those blocks. And I'll share some of that through these readings that I do. And I know David has a lot. You know, a lot of things he would like to share with you, and some messages for his fans. And I plan to share all of that with you. So let me stop sharing this for now. Thank you so much for listening and getting kind of a general idea of what the soul contract is all about. I'm looking forward to doing some videos to really get into the nitty-gritty of the numbers, show you how they work, what organs that affect each of the numbers, and how that all plays out in somebody's chart, so that maybe you can do your own chart or have somebody do your chart, and you can see how that's going to play out for you. So with that being said, thank you so much for taking the time to listen. I hope you like the video. I hope you subscribe. I'm looking for feedback, so, give me what, maybe if you'd like, I didn't answer a question that you had that wasn't very clear. Please feel free. This is all trial and error right now, so please bear with me as I get my bearings and figure out where I want to go with all this information that I have that I want to share with you. I appreciate your patience and listening, and I'm sending you much love and light. Thanks.